Okay, so it's time for episode 41 of Wine, Music, and Games. This time we're heading to Portugal for a nice sweet wine. We are going to look at some music that was from the 80s that has just been re-released on album that I was able to get a couple different versions of. And we're going to look at an expansion, which I think has become essential. So stay tuned. So how you doing, Honey Bunch?
I'm good. How are you, dear?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm sitting by the woman I love. This is great.
Aww,
love it.
I'm so lucky.
Right. Remember to ring the bell, subscribe, do all of those things. And our audio podcast, which usually goes into a lot more explanation of many of the games that we just do an overview here of, is at garrettsgames.com. So check that out. We've been doing it for a little while. All right.
How many episodes are there?
There's 790
something like that.
Yeah, just
we do review games.
Yeah, we do that. All right.
We also enjoy
wine. Hey, look at that transition. That was good. Oh my God, you're getting professional.
So this is a delicious wine that we enjoyed yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
And it's from Quinta de Pacheca, and it comes from Portugal. And we were lucky enough to taste at their winery or their quinta, and it was absolutely stunning and gorgeous.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Oh my God.
I mean, you're basically almost laying down to drink. It's like that relaxing. It's beautiful. And so, they gave us some wines to taste, and some of it we loved, and some of it we're like, it's okay,
Yeah,
but this was one that we really liked.
Well, we really liked, and we were also like, oh, Shelley's mom's birthday is coming up, and she's going to love this.
And she did, and his mom really liked it too.
We had both the moms over.
Yeah, we did. And so this is a dessert wine from Portugal, and it's not a port, so that which made it kind of unique. It's made with a Semillion grape, and we're like, Semillion dessert wine? You had me at Semillion. Give it to me. So they did. They were nice enough to let us taste it, and we thought it was really delicious. It has lots of yummy flavors like apples and pears, and but it's sweet, but not too sweet. It's not like ice wine sweet, and it's not quite as sweet, I don't think, as a port.
No, and we paired it. Oh, let's see what I did there. Paired. We paired it with some cantaloupe, some melon.
Yeah, some melon as our dessert, rather than getting like a cake or something. We did this as a dessert, and it really was nice. But then we were able to partake in it after the parents left.
There was a little left. It was great.
And we drank that.
Yeah.
And it was really nice. And this is a smaller bottle. It's perfect size if you're having wine with dinner or lunch or beforehand, which we didn't, but you could, and you wouldn't feel guilty about it because it's lower alcohol content than, say, a port, because it's not fortified, but it is sweet. It is really delicious.
12.5% alcohol, whereas a port is going to be up like 18, 17, 18, 19, 20% alcohol.
And we found this one to be really nice. Good, really nice.
Okay. All right, the music. Now, I haven't taken these out of the plastic here. Well, not out of the... So back in the 80s, there was this weird trend of dance music with Gregorian chant. Remember that?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, remember that? So probably the biggest band that did that was Enigma, French band. And so they released this, which was the first album, and then Cross of Changes, which was the second album. And I just love the fact that it's got this die cut of their name, and Enigma 1, Enigma 2 on here. These are really great albums to throw on. They're kind of not high intensity dance, but just kind of this groove. So this is great. I'm doing dinner. I'll throw a little bit of this on. It kind of actually goes along with the Brian Ferry of last week, kind of that groove. And so these were just released in the last year or so, and I was able to get them. So that's Enigma, both their first album, which is, I think, I'm not sure what the AD is on there. I'd have to look it up. That is 1990 AD. Hey, there we go. Because I think that was when it was released. And then Cross of Changes, which was the second album. And that is the music for this time. You like the music, right?
Yeah, so
maybe not as much as I do, but
no, it's still very good. I like it a lot.
And we talked about the game this time. We've talked about this game before, but they released what I think is an essential expansion, and that is Wingspan with the Oceania expansion. Now, this is, not a big box. If you look at Wingspan, okay, and then the Oceania expansion, it's a smaller box, but this was a bigger box than you might have thought because...
For expansion, right.
Yeah, exactly, because it comes with new boards, all right? So the player boards originally looked like this, and so you have each row is the territory that the birds can go into, right? So you've got marshland, forest, and in the plains.
Right.
But one of the things that I think Elizabeth Hargrave did is she listened, and I think that you can play test to your heart's content, but when you get it out in the real world, things are going to come up. And one of the things that I think came up is the fact that on the new boards in the first and third row, you can toss a food out to re-roll the dice, or toss a food out to flush the bird cards that are available to you. Both of which is really nice. So it makes it so that there's a cost, but now things don't stagnate in terms of the food that you can draft or the birds that you can draft.
Which sometimes happened in the original game, which we both, of course, really like as a 2-player version of the game.
Definitely.
But this opens up the game a lot more, makes it more fun. You feel like you have more control. You're not just sort of stuck with the cards that are out there, when you can't get that food that you really need. Also, the cards themselves, the expansion deck, are really great because there's more things to do when somebody else does something. So that makes you more involved when it's not your exact turn.
Right.
And I think it makes the game just even better than it was before.
Right.
It fixes any of the little fiddly bits that might have caused frustration for some people with the I'm stuck and I can't do what I really want to do.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that it adds is a wild type of food, which when you spend it, you don't give it back, but you instead put it here, and then there are majorities where if you've used those, but they do not, the wild food goes away from round to round. So it's an interesting kind of dynamic as well.
Right. So a little bit of area majority in that component, but then you have to use it.
Right.
And you use the wild food to make any other food unless there's one where you can't.
Right.
There's
exactly.
One that you can't.
One where you have to use wild food.
Yeah.
And other things like
exactly.
That too. Yeah.
But to have that wild food makes a big difference with being able to accomplish what you want to do too. So it's really good.
So again, that's Oceania, Wingspan, the Oceania expansion. Okay.
And the wine was
Yes.
Pacheca. Quinta de Pacheca is the winery, and you should look them up online just to see how beautiful the places you could stay in there and stuff. You can you could stay in a wine barrel, a huge wine barrel. We didn't do that, but we did enjoy their wine.
Definitely.
And this is a dessert wine, so a late harvest Semillion from 2019.
And this is Enigma, both the 1990 album, their first album, and Cross of Changes. Really great music, kind of down-tempo, great to groove to. And finally, Wingspan's Oceania expansion. Really good stuff. That's it for this week. I hope you guys are having a great week. And as always, sign up and subscribe, hit the bell so you find out when we've got these, and listen to the audio podcast. Have an amazing week. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.